Jobright.ai. This platform is becoming more and more popular for applying to jobs. I actually tried it out specifically for software engineering 2 level roles, and here in this video I'm going to really give you the pros and the cons of this platform and just a little bit about myself, a little bit of credentials. I did get offers from Amazon and Google, as you can see over here. These were software engineering offers, and this channel is all about helping you land a SWE 2 or software engineering level 2 role, ideally in some kind of city like New York City, Seattle, Bay Area, etc. And so Jobright.ai, is it actually worth it? So the short answer is no. It's honestly overhyped. And I'm not trying to hate on the platform. I do think that the founders are doing a great thing by trying to save people time with their job search. But the reason why this platform is overhyped is because there's an overemphasis on quantity instead of quality. You might have heard before that the job search is all a numbers game, but that's honestly complete bullshit. I couldn't disagree with that more. People say things like, oh, you have to apply early, be one of the first applicants. People say things like, oh, you have to apply at the right time of the year, when the market has the highest number of openings. People say things like, oh, get a referral for if you have colleagues at the company. None of those things work anymore. And if you've actually been applying in today's market, maybe you've been sending applications and you haven't been landing that many interviews, then you probably agree with me. All of those strategies are bullshit, and it's not just a numbers game. And to be honest, who wants to really send out hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of applications just to get one offer? I know I don't. And so what are the other strategies that actually work in today's market that got me into companies like Amazon and Google? Well, it's not using platforms like Jobright.ai. Again, no hate to the platform, but I do think it's a little overhyped. Ultimately, there are only two things that matter. There are only two things that matter for landing a software engineering role in today's market, especially if you're aiming for roles in New York City, Bay Area, Seattle, some major city in the US. And so the number one thing, there's really two things. The number one thing is actually optimizing your resume. Tons of people say that, oh, I've tweaked my resume so many times. I've gotten friends and colleagues to look at it and they said it's fun. They said it's fine. Well, guess what? If you're still not landing interviews, your resume is not fine. There's probably still some kind of issue with your resume. So thing number one is actually optimizing your resume. And I'm going to go through this resume because this is the exact template that actually got me offers from Amazon and Google. So thing number one that actually matters is optimizing your resume. And thing number two is actually reaching out to the right recruiters. You've probably heard that advice before. You might not know what recruiters to reach out to. Maybe you tried reaching out to them and they just ghosted your messages on LinkedIn. Don't worry, I'm going to show you how to actually find the right recruiters to reach out to and how to actually get them to respond later in the video. But first, let's actually go through the resume. This is the more important thing, because if your resume is shit, then even if you reach out to a recruiter and you attach your resume, well, guess what? They're not going to get back to you if your resume sucks. So optimizing the resume is the number one thing that matters. So first things first, the actual header, the actual top of the resume over here. It's got the standard stuff like GitHub, LinkedIn, phone number, email. But one thing that a lot of people forget to include on their resume is their work authorization. Whether you're a citizen, you're on a visa, green card, etc., you need to put this on your resume at the top left, and this will help you land more interviews because at the end of the day, you're making the recruiter's life easier by just giving them all the information they need to make a decision about you. Especially if you're a US citizen, go ahead and put that at the top left of your resume, and it will help you land more interviews. Next, the actual work experiences, right? This is the bread and butter, the actual meat of your resume. The number one most important thing for the work experience section is actually the titles. And let me explain. This is something that not a lot of people know about, but I've spoken to many recruiters in the industry about this. So a lot of people on their resume, and I review hundreds and hundreds of resumes every month, a lot of people on their resume have things like back-end developer, full stack engineer, application developer. They have all these different titles. Maybe one of them is software developer, but it's a huge, huge, huge mistake. It doesn't matter what title the company actually gave you. Just go ahead and just change the title to say software engineer on your resume for all your experiences. That's completely fair game. It's completely acceptable. That's really the one area of your resume where it's completely acceptable to kind of stretch the truth a little bit. And let me tell you why, because this will actually help you land more interviews, but you might want to know the reason why. Why does it actually matter to have software engineer as the title for all of your experiences? Well, first is ATS. So if you're applying to a role where the title is software engineer, ATS is specifically going to scan your resume for the keyword software engineer on all your previous experiences. But if you've written something like software developer or backend engineer or full stack engineer, well, guess what? ATS is not going to find a software engineer as a title on your previous experiences, and you're going to get disqualified and you're not going to get the interview. Even once you make it past ATS and an actual human being reads over your resume, I've spoken to many recruiters at big tech companies about this. They actually prefer if it just says software engineer for all the titles on your resume for all your experiences. It's absolutely crucial. I know it sounds silly because full stack development, backend, whatever, it's all under the umbrella term of software engineering, right? It shouldn't really matter. But I've spoken to recruiters in the industry about this, and for every engineer I've mentored, once they make this change to their resume, changing all of their titles to software engineer, they actually land more interviews. So if there's one thing you take away from this video, it would be that all of the titles on your resume need to say software engineer. I would even go and check that right now. Pause the video, go and check your resume right now. Next, the technical skills section. This one is going to sound a little corny, but a lot of companies in 2026 are still using automated keyword filters to really parse through all the resumes they get. It's a little bit of an outdated technique. Some companies are moving away from that, but there's still a ton of companies that literally scan for certain keywords on your resume, tools, technologies, etc. And so you want to put as many as you can in this section that are actually relevant to the roles you're applying for. And a lot of people are scared to kind of do that because they're like, oh, what if I get asked about it in an interview and what if I can't defend it? It's okay. If you're not landing that many interviews right now, you don't even need to worry about that. Our first focus just needs to be to get you some more interviews. So don't worry about the actual interview just yet. Let's just get you some more interviews. That's the bottleneck. That's the biggest issue you're facing right now. And so obviously if you've never heard of a tool or technology, don't put it on your resume. But as long as you know the basics, just put it on your resume. It's going to be okay. And so there are some more things for the resume, but I'll actually have a separate video on that. These are kind of the most important things that need to be changed on your resume ASAP. US citizen in the top left, change all your titles to say software engineer, and make sure you actually have enough keywords in the technical skills section. Okay, I know I said that there were two things that are absolutely crucial for succeeding in today's job market. Two things that got me offers from Amazon and Google. First thing is the resume. Second thing is actually reaching out to the right recruiters. Here's the secret. There is a free Chrome extension, and I'm not affiliated with them at all, but there's a free Chrome extension called Apollo. You go to the Chrome web store, search Apollo, install the extension. It's free. It's pretty simple. You're a software engineer. You can figure it out. And once you install the Apollo Chrome extension, you're going to get this yellow circle-looking thing whenever you're on LinkedIn. This is crucial. You go and find the company that you're really interested in working at, and you go to people and you type in recruiter. Obviously, tons of recruiters are going to pop up. Google has so many recruiters since it's a massive company. We can go ahead and click on this guy over here, Zach Nowacki. So we go ahead and click on Zach Nowacki's profile, and you might send him a message on LinkedIn if you're interested in the role. But that is a terrible idea, and here's why. Recruiters are very unlikely to actually respond to your messages on LinkedIn because they get so many messages on LinkedIn that there's just too many for them to actually respond. It's just impractical. And so where are recruiters actually going to respond? Email. Their professional work email, they already have to check that every day for work purposes. So if you can get into their work email inbox, they will actually respond to you. And what you want to do is you use the Apollo Chrome extension. You go ahead and click here. And boom, you can see it's znowacki@google.com. That is literally his work email, this recruiter at Google. And you can do this for any other recruiter at Google as well. You can even get their personal email. It's zachnowacki@yahoo.com. However, I would not recommend actually emailing a recruiter on their personal email account, as it's a bit of a violation of their privacy. I would not recommend doing that. But emailing their work email address is completely fair. It's completely fair game. And I've sent hundreds and hundreds of cold emails over the course of my career, and I've never had a single recruiter actually get upset with me for sending a cold email. So it's completely acceptable. Optimize your resume, find recruiters on LinkedIn, send them cold emails, ignore everything else. Everything else is bullshit. That's how I got offers from Amazon and Google. I hope you found this valuable. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I'm going to see you soon.